Since its founding, the city of Glasgow has been the proud home to many people, and its history is rich and varied. Hundreds of thousands of people live here, going about their daily lives peacefully, and have done so since its founding in the 6th century. Like many cities, however, Glasgow also has a long history of violent crime.
I think knife crime in Glasgow is so high mainly because I think of the economy right now. I think more people are turning towards maybe like drinking drugs, and I don't know, I think just violence in general is just like, I think it's just on the rise.
Witnessed the violent crime. I've been the victim of violent crime in Glasgow before, got bottled. But yeah, my mate got stabbed in the back of the leg once, and he didn't notice until we were going down for the train and someone spotted blood running out the back of his leg, just from a fight as well. It's really weird.
I think there's just too many idiots running about, thinking just want to pick fights with everyone, and obviously they can't actually fight fist to fist, so they have to have an advantage with them, so they've obviously got a knife. That's it, unfortunately.
There seems to be a lot of angry people going around, like, I don't know, maybe they want to take out their anger, frustration, makes them feel good if they have power or something.
I think knife crime's so high in Glasgow is because basically there's a lack of police attention and there's not a harsh enough penalty for the use of knife crime, and because of that it's steadily on the rise.
I'd probably prevent it by stopping them from buying them or making it much more difficult.
I think knife crime in Glasgow is so high because of just the kind of culture that Glasgow's grown up with, especially from the 60s and 70s, having gangs like the Tongs running about town.
Although knife crime is rife in modern Glasgow, it is important to remember that it has played a part in many Glaswegian people's lives for a very long time. In the 1920s and 30s, Glasgow was famous for its razor gangs, who were named as such for their predilection towards using razor blades as weapons. These razor gangs were commonly from Glasgow's south side, and it has been claimed that there were 6 times more gangs in Glasgow than in London, a city 10 times the size of Glasgow. Relationship between Glasgow gangs and the police were reported to be violent on both sides, with each faction hoping to secure the control of the streets. Tension between the two sides was so bad throughout the 30s that the Glasgow police maintained a network of paid informers, including bar staff employed in public houses in the poorer districts of Southside and East End. After World War II, the razor gangs of note slowly began to fade into a distant memory. The Beehive Boys, the Sang Toy, Tongs, the Fleet, Govan Team and Bingo Boys had become less prominent, perhaps due to the amount of young men lost in the fighting overseas. Although the razor gangs seemed a thing of the past, knife crime in Glasgow is still very much a reality. Over the past decade, Glasgow has become known as a hotbed of violent crime. In fact, in 2003, Glasgow was branded the murder capital of Western Europe. A report from the Scottish Executive stated clearly that the death toll of these violent incidents was at a height not seen since the mid-90s. The statistics showed that 186 people were arrested for 127 killings. 9 out of 10 were caught within a month of the incident. Convictions occurred in only 71 of the 125 homicide cases.
I think knife crime in Glasgow is so high, probably because there's so many gangs.
Just obviously with other wee neds running about when they get into fights, it's like they'll always have. It used to be fist to fist. If it couldn't be fist to fist, it was knife, fist, knife, kind of thing. So stabby, stabby.
I personally haven't witnessed like a violent crime, but I know people that have and have been put in really, really awful situations trying to stop it and whatnot. But me personally, no.
I think the measures that they've already taken in Glasgow has been quite high. They've blocked a lot of like shops like selling knives, and even ask for identification now if you're going to buy like a set of steak knives in some shops. But there's nothing that really can be done without changing the attitudes of the people in Glasgow.
Put a ban on selling knives or something, like make it harder for people to buy them.
Glasgow's River Clyde has been the site of many violent crimes throughout the years. It is understandable that the riverside would be host to such a vast amount of apparently unconnected attacks. In 2011, there were many reported stabbings in Clydeside areas. Across the suspension bridge at the River Clyde onto Carlton Place, a man was stabbed by an unprovoked attacker whilst trying to get home. A few months later, police received a report that a man was lying in the doorway of the Seven Ways pub, London Road, with a stab injury to his leg. Within just a few months of that, another man was stabbed on Mitchell Street following an altercation in a nightclub. With worrying statistics about the high level of knife attacks and violent crime being reported in the newspapers, one could easily be forgiven for never leaving the house. But life in Glasgow must continue as it always has, and although there is a violent element to this city, it is important to remember that Glasgow has been responsible for some of the UK's greatest cultural and scientific contributions, and that Glasgow is a city of many stories, not all of them violent.